Welcome to Beyond the Box. LSU Baseball first SEC series win of the season.
Yep. And that wasn't, yeah.
Did you just say shit in the
I think so,
mic?
yeah. I think I did, yeah.
We were just talking about cursing before we went live.
Were we?
Dude,
Well, we were talking
where
about,
have you been?
We were talking about a kid. You guys were talking about a kid cursing, but it wasn't us.
Ironically enough, we're live for 5 seconds.
I'm trying to make sure that it's
before
on that our stream looks good, okay? I like seeing it up. I like seeing the people in there who's in the chat, you know?
All right, are you set?
Yeah, I'm set.
Okay,
yeah, I'm set.
Welcome back to Beyond the Box.
Look at Lila.
I know we have a guest today. This is Lila. This is Anthony's baby. It's her 4th birthday.
She looks
hates
super
the
excited to be.
camera.
She looks excited to be here. Yeah.
We just wanted.
I know. I'm
She
sorry.
just needed her
I
moment.
didn't ask you to come here. I know.
I did.
I'm sorry.
She just needed her moment. She's about to jump off.
She probably wants
All
to be
right.
on my lap.
Okay, we'll
No, you
take
want me
her.
to see, like, this is just a mess now.
No, it's not. It's fine. All right, you gotta turn your
all
volume
right, all
down. We're out here at Modesto. You guys know we're here on Sundays, sometimes Saturdays, depending on when the series ends. But this is the first time, again, that we're here after LSU wins an SEC series, which, I mean,
We've been waiting for all year.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got 4 weeks left of the season, so about time. But we'll take it. Over Mizzou, worst offense in the SEC.
Offense.
Anthony's on one today. He's gone for a week. I hold down the fort. He comes back, and it's immediately back to the bullying.
Well, because you bullied me into bringing Lila. Look, she's not happy. She's got her paws sliding
Okay,
all over
can
the place.
somebody come get Lila?
She's fine. No, she's good now.
we're
She's
gonna
got
keep
look.
her.
Look, she's good now. She figured it out. We're not giving Abby FaceTime yet.
Not me.
The other,
Abby.
not yet. It's coming. It'll probably be another
Lauren
two
LaFleur.
minutes. 2
Lauren
minutes.
LaFleur in the chat. Go Tigers. Ashton Larson been on a roll.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
he
gotta
has.
get
There's
the
a
chat
reason.
up.
He
Where's my chat?
right now leads the team with he's batting 375. Granted, not as many at bats, but still, there's a reason he's batting 375 and why he's getting some more time in the lineup. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about some. Now, we have been talking about some questionable things that Jay Johnson has been doing, and I guess we'll start off with the Luke Coleman switch. That happened for the first time last week, right? He was the Friday night guy. He gets switched to Saturday. Gage Jump starts on Friday. Maybe we thought it was a one-off. It's not a one-off. It happened again this weekend, and you saw a little bit of not a spiral, but not the best performance from Luke Coleman. As a
Definitely
former,
not his best.
Yeah, as a former
Actually,
Friday
his
night
worst.
guy. Yeah, well,
Actually, his
before
worst,
I ask
yeah.
you this question, what did we say? He had 6. He gave up 6 runs, 6 hits,
Yeah.
2 walks, only 4 strikeouts.
It wasn't good.
No, he
He gave up a run in the
ERA
first
of
inning.
9
Yeah.
something,
Like he
yeah.
just it wasn't. He didn't look great.
Can you
Yeah.
weigh in on like the mental side of that? Of like
Yeah.
he's the one stable piece of this team, and you move him, and what does that do for his
Yeah.
mentality?
Again, right?
confidence?
I don't want to. I feel like I'm criticizing Jay Johnson. It's not something I'm trying to do at all.
No.
But as a guy that played here, pitched here on Friday nights, won a national championship, like I think there is just actual questions of like, why is he doing that? I'm not in the clubhouse. I don't know. I didn't read why he is starting him, or started him yesterday. So I don't have the answers. I just genuinely want to know, because from a perspective of a guy like Luke Coleman, when you transfer in from Alabama, I'm sure Jay Johnson said you have a chance to be the Friday night guy, right? Luke Coleman has done nothing but be an ace. He has done all of that. And to move him to Saturday against one of the best offenses in the country in Tennessee, go 5 shutout, no-hit innings, then pull him with 91 pitches when there's runners on base just to bring in Griffin Herring. Now, Griffin Herring has been an absolute beast and a dog, right? So hindsight's always 20/20 in those situations. But I'm sure Luke Coleman's not super thrilled, right? And then you keep him in this slot. And again, it worked out well for Gage Jump. Dude shoved on Friday, gets a bunch of run cushion, a lot of run support. Pitches a 7-inning complete game and punches out 13, so it looks good there. But when Luke has an off game on this Saturday, I got to wonder a little bit of where's his mental at, like what is he thinking? Where does, have we messed with his confidence a little bit, And a guy that throws low 90s and not as crazy overpowering stuff, that kind of stuff's pretty important, I think. So I don't know. I don't love the move. I don't understand it, but it is what it is, and they won the series. So what can I say? But
Yeah.
if I were Luke, I'd be a little disturbed.
Disturbed is probably the right word.
Yeah.
Chat's rolling already.
It is, yeah.
Rocky said great special guest.
Yeah, that's my guy, Rocky. Rocco Ranaudo. That's probably my brother right there. I can't see his little avatar, but I'm assuming it's...
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm assuming. There's not too many Rockies in the world nowadays, you know? You just don't see it as much.
Well,
But yeah, she has a special guest, Rock. Yep. This is what I came home for. I was just in Virginia visiting my, we call them the VA Ranaudos, the Virginia
getting
Ranaudos.
some family time.
Family time.
As you should.
Watching Austin play his senior year of high school. But yeah.
Lauren, Gage jump went off on Friday. That's what Anthony kind of alluded to. 14 strikeouts.
Did he have 14? Sorry, I said 13. I shorted him then.
Yeah, 14 strikeouts. That's an incredible feat from him. So we're not that's not taking anything away from Gage jump. It's just I think it is not confusing, but like you said, a little bit maybe disturbing to Luke Holman just on his role and what he's done this season so far, and to move him to Saturday. John Melanson, shout out to Griffin Herring. One bad inning away from a sweep. Need to keep this momentum going into next weekend. Yeah, next weekend, we have Auburn. So you've got the bottom
have to
of
sweep.
yeah.
Might be time, Abby.
the bottom of the
Come get her.
pause.
Thank you.
Pause. It's enough of Lila. Lila has
Lila's out.
decided
on
she's
Lila,
over
yeah.
it. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Lila. Thanks for being on camera.
She's done. She needs some water.
Yeah.
Yeah, going into next weekend. I mean, we are 5-13 now?
Yeah, 5 and 13.
It's 5-13.
Yeah, usually you say 15 wins gets you, like a regional bid, something like that. You're in a good standing if you have 15 wins in the SEC.
So you have to win, what'd you say?
10 out of 12 left. There's 12 games left.
Auburn, so doable to sweep. They're at the bottom of the SEC too. And then you've got Texas A&M. So good luck there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got Bama, followed by Ole Miss.
Bama's top 25. Ole Miss is never – they play up at LSU all the time, right? So, yeah, this is not going to be an easy task at all. No. Josh Pearson was quoted saying that you win 15 games in the SEC, you're right back hosting a Super Regional. I don't know if I agree with that, but shout out to Mike Dub show where he was on saying that. But – we want him to.
Yeah, you do
want
win
him
15, you're back. You're.
I don't know about hosting a regional, super regional.
You're back in play, but like.
Oh yeah. You win 15 games, you're.
The odds of that happening. Let's be real here. It hasn't happened yet, and you expect it to happen in the last.
Look, let's be
4
realistic.
weeks.
This team needs to not finish in the last two. The last two don't go to Hoover, and if you don't go to Hoover, you're not going to a regional.
Straight up.
So they need to not finish last.
Find a way. Mm-hmm.
So we are one of the bottom two teams right now, so they got to sweep Auburn and get out of there. Auburn's going to finish last probably, and then it's probably going to be a race between Missouri and what was the other standings? Who else was in there in the bottom? Alabama. Even though Alabama's a top 25 team.
Ole Miss.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's going to be Ole Miss and Auburn. Missouri. I think Missouri is good. I mean, they're just not a great team. They're really not.
Florida's at the
Florida's playing
weekend.
awful, but
Yeah.
they're a good team. They have good coaching. So.
Well, okay, but we were looking at stats before we went live, and I pointed out, like, if you look at the numbers, LSU as a team sits pretty like midway in team batting average, team ERA, team fielding percentage. So it's not necessarily like, oh, this is just a shit team.
Oh, yeah, we're not abysmal. No.
No, our numbers are not bad. It's like the little things and trying to find a way to piece it together. And I think who said it in the chat? John says one bad inning, right? But there's been throughout the whole season, there's been a whole bunch of little bad things, errors. Michael Braswell leads the SEC with 11 errors right now. Yeah. There was a mishap by the first baseline today between Milam and Jared Jones, where
they just collided. Yeah, it was pretty ugly.
But like small things like that. Now it didn't cost too much today, but
I think it's more just like what I said. We're not an abysmal team, but we're not a great team right now because great teams know how to win those games, right? When you win, I've said this a couple times. I've been on Jordy Holberg's show talking about this the last couple weeks. When you beat Florida on Friday night at Alex Box, and then you're winning in the 8th inning or 9th, I think against them it was the 9th inning. We were 1 out away, and you don't win that game, and then you lose the Sunday game, right? To lose the series, that's a big swing right there. Imagine winning that game and going 2-0 against Florida and then coming back with all the momentum on Sunday. That's a huge swing, right? Same thing with Vanderbilt. You beat Vanderbilt when they're a top 10 team, top 5 team, I think, on Friday. You wax them, and then in the 8th inning you have a lead and you blow it, right? That kills all the momentum going into Sunday. And those 2 games, that's 4 wins right there. That could have swung at least 2, right? Maybe you win one of those other 2 on Sunday in that series. That's 3 wins, and that's a huge difference in the bottom of the standings, right? And great teams, good teams find a way to win those games, right? We talked about their hitting with runners in scoring position and hitting with 2 outs. Now, they did a great job on Friday and Sunday this weekend doing that, and that's why they won the games, right? But yesterday they were 0-67 with runners in scoring position. Like, that can't happen. Even today they didn't do great with runners in scoring position, but they did great with 2 outs. So those are the little things that separate and make great teams and good teams. So this team can do it. They have the personnel. There's good players out there. I'm not going to say they're great players, but we have a good team and we have great coaches. It's all there. It's just a matter of doing the little things like you're talking about. And if you're middle of the pack, that's the separator, right? If you don't do the little things, you're in the bottom. If you do the little things, you somehow rise to the top. And so that's the difference, I think.
But it has to be a consistent thing, doing the little things right. There
was a question about you watching the softball game. I guess Beth got ejected?
Ejected in the 7th.
Beth also was one of the, what is she, the most wins?
527 wins. Yeah, they put a video of her speech when she first came here. Great coach. She's done a lot for that program. Definitely. We've talked about this before. Yeah. They have a team this year that could go back to Oklahoma City. Would love to see that. We'll do some more softball coverage on Valley Vision tomorrow, live at 5. So make sure y'all tune in for
live
that.
At 5. Wow.
Live at 5. For those of you who don't know, we do a Valley Vision, like all sports show.
Not me,
and,
but you.
Not him. He's not on that one. Just this one.
Sorry, guys. I'll be missing this pretty face.
Darn. But
just
we'll
the baseball guy.
We'll talk.
What? I just keep
you
interrupting.
did some women's basketball and men's basketball.
I know some stuff.
Just he won't be there tomorrow. That's me and Trinity got it covered. We're good to go.
You guys did kill it, by the way. Yep. Seriously, it was awesome.
I'm excited for tomorrow. We're gonna talk softball, gymnastics winning their first ever national championship.
LSU's national champion. You?
Yeah, dude. How many natties has it been in the past? 52 total.
53. I thought it was 53.
Is it 53? No, it's 52. Football, yeah.
We're the best. That's it.
It's
crazy.
Just
leave it there. We're the best.
We'll get into that tomorrow. But yes, we'll give softball some love. Beth Serena's awesome. Yep. Bouncing back to baseball because it is a baseball show. A couple other things that I want to pick your mind about.
Nick Hessler. Wow, this is an interesting comment. Sorry.
Sorry.
When the chat's into it, I like it. I like hearing. I like trying to answer it as real.
Know Anthony loves the chat, y'all.
I do.
We love it. Keep it going.
Nick Hessler says Griffin Herring has Friday night starter stuff. I would start him when you play Texas A&M if you're lucky enough to make the SEC tournament. Nick, I agree. He's probably got Friday night stuff. But I wouldn't start him on Friday. I think we have a good thing going with Gage Jump and Luke Coleman.
Okay,
Luke Coleman first, then Gage Jump.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
Just saying,
are you going to ride it out with Gage Jump and then Luke? Okay.
Luke Coleman's our Friday night starter for me.
Okay, so then if you're Yeski.
But wait. Let me address this first before you ask me a question.
Go ahead.
And the reason that I wouldn't move him is because we don't have any other solid bullpen pieces right now. We really don't. We're like bullpen by committee. It's who's going to be the guy today. I think Aiden Moffitt is kind of rising up, right? You brought him in right after Holman, right? And that's what we said, right? Yeah. So I was in and out of the games. I was visiting some family, so I didn't watch all of it this weekend. But I think there's some pieces that are emerging. But again, I thought Thatcher Hurd would have been a guy. I thought, So I just think that when you have somebody as solid as Griffin Herring, and he reminds me of Lewis Coleman when I was playing, Jared Bradford, the guys that can go multi-innings, but you put them in the high-leverage situations. They're not just one-inning guys. They can go like he did today, right? You have a little bit of a lead, and you put in Griffin Herring. So to me, that is more valuable than the Friday starter because we have 2 solid starters. So that's the only reason, Nick. That's the only reason that I would say he doesn't start because we don't have anybody really else in the bullpen that is as solid as him. I think we have Will Helmers, who's a leader, and a grinder, and obviously one of our go-to bullpen guys. But is he high leverage? Can he go length? That kind of stuff. So I think Griffin Herring is our guy that we need to keep in that role that maybe can come in Friday night for an inning and a third, but then bounce back Sunday and pitch 3 innings if we need to win a series. So that's the only reason I would keep him kind of in the bullpen in the high leverage role that he is right now.
Okay, well, perfect segue because I did want to go back to some of the pitching. We have not seen Kate Anderson in a little minute.
If you want to make me upset,
Well, low-key, I like to get a reaction out of him. He knows that too. But we haven't seen Cade Anderson. Thatcher we saw for 2 innings during a midweek. Nate starting today. Like what?
No, I'm sorry.
I know you're not. Yeah, go ahead.
No. Nate should be a bullpen guy and be a lefty out of the pen for us. I think that's where he fits.
Okay.
And I think where he fit last year, where it's like, hey, we need a spot start as a guy that's going to kind of inspire us, is the move. I don't think he's a Sunday starter. I'm just going to be honest with you. I don't understand why I've said this for 6+ weeks now at least. I don't understand why Cade Anderson is not starting in the weekend rotation. I really don't. I don't understand it. He's got the best stuff after Holman and Gage jump starters wise.
You're a Sunday guy. That would be.
He should be our Sunday guy. Yes, 100%. He is. I think he's I guess Gage Jump's coming back next year, right? He's our Saturday guy next year. Why not? Why is he not Sunday right now? Especially when we're on the bottom of the SEC. He should be getting innings, like meaningful innings as a freshman right now. So I don't understand it. I don't know why he didn't pitch. I don't know. So and then if we're gonna start him for 2 innings on the midweek or Thatcher for 2, I don't understand it again. So again, not questioning Jay Johnson. I just don't understand it. This is a different game. Baseball has changed a lot. College baseball has changed a lot. So again, I'm not saying anything about Jay Johnson, not putting him on the hot seat, not going at him or anything. I just don't understand it.
First off, the whole point of us talking about this team and this season is to have a conversation, not to kiss ass, not to, like, we're going to talk about the things that we're questioning. It is fair to ask questions, especially with your background and, like, being a Friday night guy and a professional pitcher. Like, I think it's pretty fair to ask questions. Not that we're shitting on anybody or, like, calling for anyone's head and, like, he needs to be on the hot seat. No, but I think it's very fair to ask questions and to have a conversation about it. So before anybody jumps on us,
and not that anybody has. I want to I have a relationship with LSU, and I want to make sure that, we don't.
We respect the program.
Yes,
for sure.
Respect the program. I respect the coaches. There's a lot of love there, but at the same time, the love and respect, I want us to win.
Right.
And I don't think we're putting our best product out there consistently, and that's what it is. I just don't understand it because from what I've seen, and again, this is the things that Jay Johnson probably doesn't listen to any of this stuff and noise because he knows the team better than any of us. Mm-hmm. We can all have our opinions, right? But he is with these kids every single day. He knows the ins and outs of what's going on. You don't know what's going on off the field with these kids, their families, girlfriends, all these different things, right? Boyfriends nowadays. You never know. So I think it's just our opinions and just I'm calling it as I see it, right? That's it.
With the information we do have.
That's it. With the information that we do.
Context.
Yes, that's it.
Your chat's popping.
I know.
Catch up.
Do you think that we've lost Herd mentally, Nick? Yeah, Chat King. Wow. Chat King.
We're gonna get him a shirt.
I was gonna say I need a
hat. That says Chat King.
Lauren. Yeah, I see Cade Anderson will most likely start Tuesday night. I know. I don't understand it. Why? Who cares? Like.
Who's the midweek?
We can win a midweek game without Cade Anderson pitching. He is our number 3 pitcher. He should be pitching on Sundays when we're losing series. Who? Nichols, right? Yeah. Cade Anderson has no business starting against Nichols. He's started the midweek games. He's gotten his experience. He has dominated the midweek games. He should be our Sunday starter. Like that's in my opinion. Again, just my opinion. You guys can tell me to F off, whatever.
Before you continue, I'm going to eat a chip, so I'm going to shout out Modesto. We are at Modesto. They sponsor Beyond the Box. You've seen me and Anthony just house baskets of chips.
And if you didn't, you would have saw it before because I ate a whole one by myself.
This is number 3 and number 4 right here. Anyway.
You dropped the chip.
It's all right.
All right.
More salsa.
Nick asked, Anthony, do you think that we've lost Herd mentally for the season because of how poor things have gone for him this year? It is a great question. And honestly, I have the same one. I'm going to be honest because he didn't pitch this weekend. And he pitched 2 innings midweek, and he gave up a 2-run homer in the first inning against, who they play last week? I'm blanking right now. McNeese, yeah. Now, granted, the kid did have, like, a homer streak. It was like 5 games in a row where he's hit a home run or something ridiculous. But still, he gave up a home run in the first inning or something against them. 2 runs in 2 innings. So I don't know. I'm sure Thatcher is searching for some things right now. This is definitely not the way he saw his season going. He was, I think, preseason a first rounder. There was a lot of hype about him being a first rounder. Obviously, was the Friday night guy, started opening night for us. So this is definitely not the way he's wanted it to go. And now that he's not getting any reps on the weekend, I would imagine he's reeling for some stuff. I do think that there was probably some opportunity for him to get out there, when we're up, but whatever. But again, yeah, I hope not, because the kid has got electric stuff, and I hope he figures it out. And he's a good kid from what I've heard. So I hope he does figure it out. But
well, and again, he was out of town hanging out with family, as he should. That's a priority. But Pete Bush and I on Tuesday's show had this conversation, or a little bit of a conversation about Thatcher, and kind of a fair point he brought up. It wasn't even me. It was Pete Bush that said,
throw him under the bus, Pete.
Yeah, I mean, the tape is recorded. You can go back and look. So, but he essentially said, like, what's the real Thatcher Hurd? Like, is what we saw at the end of last season actually who he is as a pitcher? Was that like an adrenaline kind of momentum thing that like a one-off? Yeah. We hope that's not the case, but you turn around to this season, you haven't seen that same. And
before those, that postseason run, he struggled as a midweek starter. Yeah. There was definitely struggles in there. So, the one thing about him is the stuff can't lie. He throws 94 and 96. He's got a great breaking ball. So I think it's, between the ears, which is why baseball there's a lot of guys that can throw 94 and 96. It's why the minor leagues are filled with guys that throw 98 to 100, but they never make it to the major leagues, because between the ears is what it takes to get to the major leagues, to stay in the major leagues. And then, when you're in college and at LSU, that's what it takes to be an elite starter, an elite reliever, a high leverage reliever, all that kind of stuff. So could be mental.
This is a storytelling show, so I'm going to
go. What you got?
Pick your brain a little bit. I know you went through some ups and downs in your professional career. Was there a time that you were like in a rut, like just a slump, and like how do you get out of that?
Well, let's not. You were asking about the stats, right? We could see all the stats. My junior year, I was a first.
We should look them up.
Oh, they're not good.
I'm not gonna do.
I had a 7.3. I mean, I'm not. I don't hide anything. I am. It is what it is, right? I had a 7.32 ERA. I didn't pitch well. It was awful. I started opening night my junior year after we won the national championship. Went 5 or 6 shutout innings. Then got shut down with an injury. It was my draft year. I was supposed to be, whatever, according to all the rankings, top 10 pick or whatever it was. I was preseason Golden Spikes Awards person, like all that shit. Obviously, which doesn't matter, right? Because I got hurt. I was shut down for 6 to 8 weeks. And as a 19-year-old kid that is being told you're going to make $5 million, but you have to be on the field, and your team we were the number 1 team in the country when I was out. Like, we started out number 1. We fell a little bit in the beginning to to 5 or something, but we wound up winning all our games when I was gone, and like the team was gelling great, and we were number 1, and I wanted to come back, obviously, right? Like, what could be better than getting me back and on the field? And obviously I wanted to go pitch in front of scouts and do all that stuff and contribute to my team.
Right.
So yeah, that was a really hard time for me. I was battling injury, and I probably came back too soon. Realistically, I'm not making excuses, but when I came back, I just wasn't myself. I was getting my spring training reps in the middle of the SEC play, and I got waxed. Like, I just got crushed all around the yard, So it is what it is, and so I understand what Thatcher's going through. I really do, like 100%. And this is why I'm not as hard on this team, and why we laugh about them being able to go 10-12, right, and go into the postseason. We fell out of the top 25 at one point, from number 1 in the country. It fell out of the top 25. We went to the SEC tournament. We won the SEC tournament. I started adjusting and embracing my role. I came out of the bullpen. I wound up actually getting the win in the championship game against Alabama. Pitched the last 3 innings. It was absolutely awesome. One of my best memories that I've ever had, like in an LSU baseball uniform. And we wound up going to a regional at UCLA. So we salvaged our season, and we wound up having a chance to go to a super. We really did, but we ran into Garrett Cole and Trevor Bauer, so it was kind of tough. Yeah, they went to the championship game that year. They didn't win the national championship, but they were pretty good. So, a tough draw. It was a tough draw. But still, what I'm saying is, baseball is all about ups and downs. That's the way it is. You got to ride the wave. You got to be able to get out of your ruts when you have them. So that's what hopefully this team is doing. They won a series, and it's all about momentum, putting one game on top of another, win a series. Maybe you have some momentum going into Texas A&M, and maybe you pull out a win, a series win. And
I just glanced down at the chat, and Trinity asked, "Is this series win enough is it enough momentum to keep this going? A series, your first SEC series win over Mizzou."
Baseball is the craziest game ever. It really is. So it could. That's what I'm saying. Is I'm an optimist, and I'm an LSU fan. So I want to say yes, right? Like, I really do. I do. There's nothing more. We have an LSU baseball show. I want all the fans around America to be in here chatting with us, right? So I want us to be great, not just because I'm an alumni and I'm proud and that kind of stuff, but I want people to be engaging. I want people to know about LSU. That's the reason we do this show. So I do hope so. I really do. But like we said, they have to do things that they're not doing right now.
Little things.
But they did it 2 out of 3 games this weekend. So who knows if they can do it 3 out of 3 next weekend, or against a bad team, you might not have to do it as much, right? You just have to get some wins. And when you get wins and momentum and things like that, things start falling into place. And then you go to Texas A&M. If you can do 2 out of 3 at Texas A&M, you never know. So I don't know. I believe so. They can.
I think, if anything, to go into a weekend against Auburn is probably also, like, you needed just a little bit of momentum to be able to go over there and sweep. That would be crazy to go, and then to go face Texas A&M off of a sweep.
Yeah.
Would be
win
great.
5 out of your last 6, right?
Right. And it's not out of the question.
No.
We've seen.
Wow.
Woo!
Nice job, guys. We didn't expect that.
All right.
We got a lot of wind here. Pretty crazy.
Clearly. We almost lost the tent.
And maybe some equipment, but we held it together.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to do it again.
We've seen crazier things in sports.
I mean, if you think about the storyline, right? Think about this. If you say LSU heads to Texas A&M this weekend, they've won 5 out of their last 6, and they've won their last 2 series. That's not a crazy statement.
No.
And if you just say it like that, it's like, oh, all right, Texas A&M, you're number 1 in the country. You got to defend yourselves against the defending national champs coming to your place that are getting hot, right? That's a storyline that
we
works.
Would love that storyline.
That sounds legit. That could be a thing. So, yeah, absolutely. Ender said Abby is the best. I kept it real.
Thank you.
With my bad stats.
We do that pretty well here.
I'm not afraid to say what has happened. It's the past. I've hopefully gotten over it. It was 2010.
I would hope so. That was literally 14 years
that
ago.
was a joke. Yeah, it was a joke. Ender also said, I'm excited to watch LSU sports because I watch Valley Vision. So I became a fan of the program. There's a little heart in fan of the program in general because of Valley Vision. Boom.
That's so cool to hear. Wow. I watch basketball, men's and women's baseball, softball, gymnastics, rooting for LSU all the way.
Not Jaden Daniels or Libby Dunn, but Abby Alonzo.
Valley
Let's go.
Vision got you to be a fan. I don't know. I need proof of that, but.
What is their record? Whose record? Texas A&M or LSU, Karina?
Or Auburn. I could I'll look.
Auburn's only won 2 games in the SEC, so I mean, but they are playing right now for the Sunday game. So
okay, so as of now, or before this, before today, because there's games going on. In the SEC East, you had Kentucky, Tennessee, Vandy, Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, Missouri at the bottom.
Tennessee took over today, though. They beat Kentucky.
Did. They beat Kentucky 13-11.
Yep.
My hair is everywhere. We're not going to pay attention.
No, it looks great.
I'm just going to call it out before somebody else does.
It looks great.
You're lying on camera.
I was trying to be nice.
Well, for once, I appreciate it. In the West, Arkansas's above A&M.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah.
They beat. Wow.
Check that out.
Did A&M lose to Alabama this? I know they lost 1 game to Alabama on Friday, but then they swept yesterday. They played twice. They won 2
that's
yesterday.
Right. So Arkansas, A&M, Mississippi State, Bama, Ole Miss, LSU, Auburn.
LSU is 4-13 in the SEC, and overall, what's their record? 24-16.
Well, now we're 5-13.
5-13.
Yeah, because this is before today's games.
Yeah. We
Auburn's
dominated our
2-15.
conference schedule.
Oh, we sure did. But that doesn't matter.
Except Southern.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we lost to Southern too.
It happens. Fellowship. The tent's gonna take me out.
Yeah.
Yeah, if LSU keeps it up, they could be unstoppable. When you have somebody like Jay Johnson coaching, and Pete Bush brought this up. If you get rid of Jay Johnson, who are you going to get?
We're not getting rid of Jay Johnson. Nobody's even talking about that. I mean, if they are.
Well, there were people.
If people are talking about that, they've lost their minds, honestly.
Some of with the LSU fan base, the LSU culture, we're winning, right? We just talked about gymnastics won a natty yesterday, and Tiger Girls, track. Like, we just went across the board. Now that forms kind of it's a good problem to have, but for these coaches who are coming in and winning national championships in their second year, that's not easy to do, and you
Yeah.
can't expect that to just continue to happen. But we were playing kind of like hypotheticals, and if people are calling for Jay Johnson's job,
Nobody should listen to those people.
Who
Nobody
the
should
hell
listen
are
to
you
those
gonna
people.
replace him with, really? Because he's one of the best in the country.
I mean, I'm sure you could find. Like, if we're playing that game, I'm sure you could find somebody to replace him. This is LSU. We can get anybody we want,
Okay,
but
no,
we
I
want
don't
Jay
mean-
Johnson.
Yes, that's what
That's
I'm
what
saying.
is we don't want anybody else. We want Jay
you
Johnson.
could go. You have your pick of the litter,
Right.
but I mean, like you have a top coach. Like, there's not anybody out
He's
there.
literally the most
whatever.
winningest coach that ever has put on an LSU uniform in his first 3 years. So, yeah,
Settle down.
yeah.
LSU's only won 5 games. 5 games in the SEC.
SEC.
Not the whole season.
But yes, I mean, 5 out of 18 is not good. Neither is that car. That car is struggling.
I thought that was a grocery cart.
Me too. I was like, what is going on?
happening
This is
right
a wild episode, guys. Thank you guys for being here and grinding this out with us, because this is
Oh my
amazing. Yeah.
gosh.
All right, Nick's asking, as a former pitcher, as bad as our pitchers have been this year, does Nate Yeske hold any blame?
Oh, I
I know.
asked him this before the show.
A lot of these guys are night and day from last year when Wes Johnson was pitching coach. Yes. I'm gonna be honest.
I asked.
Yeah.
I asked before the show. I said, we've been talking about Jay Johnson a lot, but Yeske.
Yeah.
Yeske's got a part in this somewhere. And we
No,
looked
Yeske
up the
definitely has a part.
ERA and the team ERA, and
He's got a
all
great
of
track
that.
record, and he's done some great things, with some good teams and stuff. But he's also been 3 different stops in 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So something tells me that, again, I'm not there, so I don't want this to come off like I'm bashing the guy. But I think there's got to be some questions raised for sure, and especially when there's So for me, right, the little things, I actually noticed it, which means I don't know. Like yesterday, he went out to Luke Holman in like the 2nd or 3rd inning when there was 2 outs. And they had scored a run with 2 outs in the 1st inning. And honestly, it's been something that we have noticed. Scoring runs with 2 outs has been a crutch for us this year, or giving up runs with 2 outs as a pitching staff. So those are the things as a pitching coach should be your main focuses. Like, as I played here under 2 pitching coaches at LSU, and then I probably had 15 different pitching coaches in professional baseball, right? Those are the things that good pitching coaches focus on and make good pitchers great. Talking about finishing guys when you have 2 strikes, having advantage counts, right? 0-0, 1-1, 2-2, right? Those advantage counts and things like that, taking advantage of those types of situations, putting guys away or putting innings away when you get the first 2 outs really quick, right? And knowing how to approach a hitter right after you get those first 2 outs and things like that. So, again, not coming at Nate Yeske, but yes, I think there's got to be some questions about what's going on with the pitching staff, especially when you see some of these guys changing and struggling and stuff like that when they're night and day, like kind of.
Again, storytelling show. Who were some of the best pitching coaches you've had, and why?
Some of the best pitching coaches I've ever had. So
I
there was a
just
guy.
want to keep Anthony talking so I can eat chips. Go ahead.
Smart. Well, now that you told me that, I'm gonna start asking you questions so I can eat chips. I think my best pitching coach that I had was a guy, or who sticks out the most, was a guy named Bob Kipper. He pitched in the major leagues for 7-8 years. What's going on? Are we struggling right now?
Woo!
We'll be back.
We'll pick back up. Chip break. Your sister.
My sister just got in here. Well, guys, we're on a pause because OBS is
Being
assuming they can't-
OBS.
I'm assuming they can't hear us, huh?
No. Oh, well, the recording can, so. We're back up.
We're back.
Sorry. The Wi-Fi went out so we could have a chip break.
Yeah. We got wind. We got OBS
No, people are
problems.
literally holding the tent. Anyway.
We have cars that are falling apart in the parking lot, dragging through here. Somebody's blasting music right next to us. It's all falling apart, but Ashley Ranaudo Blank,
I was
thanks for
gonna say,
coming
tell
in.
your sister
My
what's
sister,
up.
hello. That's another person that I visited on my trip. So best pitching coach. What I was saying is Bob Kipper, I think, was probably my most memorable best pitching coach that I had. I had another guy, Kevin Walker, was my high A pitching coach. But Bob Kipper was my double-A pitching coach. We had a ton of prospects on our team that year, and he was kind of tasked with developing us all, and doing that kind of stuff. And just the way that he commanded respect. There was definitely some times that we butted heads, just his personality and some of our personalities and things like that. But I think I learned the most from him, just the way that we broke down the game after every start. Not only would we chart, the 2 days leading up to our start, so we would kind of get to know the team that we're pitching against. We would kind of see how other pitchers pitched, the team that we're pitching against, so we would learn. But after our starts the next day, we'd spend 15 to 30 minutes with Bob. We used to hate it at the time, but I learned so much in those meetings because we would break down every single batter, why I threw certain pitches, what I learned and what I could have done better, or what we should have done here, or what he would have suggested, that kind of stuff, right? So I think those are the things, people that took time to do that stuff, because there are a lot of pitching coaches in professional baseball that don't give a shit. They just want to try to get it to the next level, or are trying to get a paycheck. They're trying to get to the major leagues again to try to get their pension and all that kind of stuff, right? So I think Bob Kipper cared the most, especially in the minor leagues, trying to get guys to the major leagues. The things he taught me mentally were super huge, stick with me today. And then Kevin Walker was one. I think he's actually in the big leagues with the Red Sox right now somewhere, maybe the bullpen coach. But he was my high A pitching coach, and he was awesome, just down to earth dude. He was very new to coaching at the time, but he was awesome. You could just tell he knew what he was doing. He was a player's coach, kind of related a lot to us and that kind of stuff, which was nice. And then the big leagues, not that I didn't have any good pitching coaches, I don't think I was really there long enough to learn enough, because I was always going up and down. And then I got traded 2 times, that kind of stuff. And then, so I worked with a couple legendary pitching coaches and a guy named Juan Nieves who taught me a lot with the Red Sox. But again, not anything crazy, just because I didn't have that much time with them.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answered your question.
It did.
Terry Rooney was one of my favorite pitching coaches too, who was a Beyond the Box guest. He sat here.
He rolled up in a golf cart straight from Alex Box.
He was the best recruiting coordinator and coach and inspirational coach that I ever had. So the reason I didn't mention Terry though is because his style of pitching was a little different than mine. He was a shorter lefty that didn't have overpowering stuff, right? So he called the game, but I learned a lot how to pitch with off speed. I learned how to pitch behind guys with him. I learned a lot about the game and competing with Coach Rooney. Like we talked about on the show.
Yeah.
So he was one of my favorite coaches that I ever coached or played under, for sure.
So let me ask you this. We talk a lot about the decision making on who goes on the mound, but what are your thoughts on how they've been calling pitches?
I haven't noticed. I think it's been solid, because whenever you watch a game and you remember that, oh my God, why is he throwing this or like that?
Yeah.
That's when you start.
Then it's a problem.
Yeah. As I'm recalling, I don't really think about that kind of stuff. I think a lot of times I think they do a good job. Honestly, I really do. I think their pitch mixing is pretty good. And today they have. I mean, it should be, honestly, because they have so much information. There's so much data, right? There's so much stuff that we've learned over the last 5 years, especially in baseball. So I don't mind their pitch calling. I think it's been pretty solid. I think we do a good job.
All right, switch to offense. Jared Jones, bombs. I think we looked today because yesterday, I think. Yesterday we were questioning how many home runs he's had in the SEC. He is tied for 5th in the SEC for home runs. And he's also tied for 11th in the SEC with 44 strikeouts. Which I think that happened last season. That's happened this season. That's his thing.
You turn on a major league game too. Guys who hit home runs strike out. The game has changed.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, the game has changed. It's home run. I mean, Joey Gallo has a job in the major leagues. He's batting 146 right now because he either strikes out or he hits a home run. Schwarber literally leads off for the Phillies right now. He hit 198 last year. That was his batting average going into the postseason, but he hit 44 homers. So it's that's the way the game goes. And Jared Jones has some of the best raw power that you'll see in college baseball, 100%.
He's a big guy.
And I think going into today, he had a 4-game homer streak. So I was kind of criticizing a little bit. That's what we were talking about while we were checking some stats. For some reason, I didn't remember a ton of SEC home runs. I was like, he's got a lot of homers, but he hits a lot in midweek. But he has 6 homers in SEC, 6 of his 17.
Florida, 2 against Florida, 1 against Vandy.
And then obviously he hit 2 against Missouri if he had a 4 home run streak going into today. So, yeah.
So when I was first off, like we mentioned at the beginning of the show, Ashton Larson with the 375.
I like that kid.
Yeah, you said he's one of the bright spots of the offense because the offense has struggled to find its identity. It's not the traditional LSU baseball gorilla ball kind of thing, and we've seen a little bit more small ball, struggling to get on base and then struggling to complete and like leaving runners on base. But Ashton Larson has been a bright spot on the offense.
I like that kid a lot. He plays a nice right field too. He's got a really pretty swing from the left side too. I liked him too in his game post-game interview. I guess he's from Missouri, so he had a bunch of family there, and they interviewed him today. Hit a home run. He pimped it, did a little bat flip. But I just like the way he communicated as a freshman too. Like he just seemed like he had good mic presence. He seemed like he communicated well. Cocky enough, but not too cocky, you know, or I should say confident enough, but not cocky.
He didn't come off as cocky.
He wasn't cocky, but definitely had a lot of confidence as a freshman. So, yeah, no, I like the kid. And that was the first time I kind of got, like, to see him in an interview style. But his game has been really impressive. I think he has taken that spot. I talked about it a couple weeks ago. I was like, why is Josh Pearson still in the lineup? Because I was calling for Jake Brown, remember?
Yep.
But obviously Ashton Larson was the answer, and the dude has ran with the opportunity. So, it's one of my favorite things about college baseball is there's always a guy about mid-season or towards the end of the year when postseason I'm so nervous that all of this is going to come. Yeah, but it's the salsa that I'm more worried about that's going to come in our face.
No shot the glass bowl.
I don't know.
Let me not say
this
that.
Tent was about to just go.
Let me tell y'all something. If any of this food flies, cut the stream. Because I'm going to lose it.
If salsa gets on my shoes, I'm going to be salty.
It's already on my pants.
Well,
but I did that to myself.
Yeah, that's you. That wasn't even the wind.
Continue.
I don't know what else. What was I just saying?
You were talking about Ashton Larson, but and Josh Pearson.
Yeah.
And,
no, I was just saying that I was kind of calling for somebody to take that spot.
Right.
Oh, I was saying it's one of my favorite things every single year where, my freshman year, I'm trying to think, it was Micah Gibbs taking over the catcher spot, right? And he wound up becoming this crazy All-American catcher. He was the catcher for the USA team in 2010 when they went and won gold, or 2009, 2008, and he was a USA catcher for the next 3 years. My sophomore year was Mikey Matok taking over in center field, right? Every year there was somebody that like took over and became this formidable player for the team. Last year they had different guys. Like Thatcher Hurd came out of nowhere. Like there was people that always I take these roles on. Who was a freshman last year that came out of nowhere? I'm trying to think.
Freshman?
Yeah. Pearson. At the end of the year.
Last year it was Josh.
Yeah, right? Because he's a sophomore?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is he was like at the end of the year, all of a sudden the starter in the fifth spot, that was like a huge part of the team, you know? I don't know. It's just one of my favorite things that happens every single year. So to see Ashton Larson be that dude, Lila looks like she's about to jump on something right there. What is she about to grab? She looks dangerous. Yeah, she's being cocky right now because it's her birthday.
I do also want to ask you about Paxton Kling. You're just kind of waiting for him to get started. Yesterday he hit the shit out of one, but the wind at that field was crazy. A lot of people got robbed, but it would have been a grand slam. It would have been a grand slam, and you're kind of waiting for him to have almost a momentum moment, like where he gets it and it takes him.
He's getting there.
Yeah.
He was batting like 190 like 2 weeks ago, and he's up to 224 now.
He had 3 hits.
He had 3 hits today. Well, he had 3 hits today, so he was 224 going into his last at bat, and then he hit a double, I think.
Okay.
So he's coming along. He's probably batting 230 now. The kid has all the tools. I've been riding this kid's wave for a long time now.
And that's why I wanted to ask you about him.
So I still believe in him. I think his stuff's there, and so does Jay, obviously. He's leaving him at the top of the order. That's where he belongs. Now, I think the more confidence that he gets and the less pressure he puts on himself to be the next Dylan Cruz, like we've talked about, right?
Yeah.
Like, if he just embraces being Paxton Kling, like, he's going to be great.
That's brutal. And you do have to take that into account. We've talked in the way of saying, oh, there's entitlement, like there's also the pressure side of things where individuals and as a team they're facing tough pressure coming off a natty win, as well as how well all the other LSU sports are doing. And when you have individuals like Paul Skeens and Dylan Cruz, there's just a lot of pressure there. What are you laughing at?
Ender said, you guys make those chips look good. I know, because I'm
You should come to Modesto.
Now I want some chips and salsa. All right, well, you got to come get some Modesto chips and salsa. When you're in Baton Rouge, Ender.
It's some of the best in Baton Rouge.
Ender was the one that was saying that he follows LSU sports because of Valley Vision, right?
Oh, yeah, so you're probably
I'm saying,
not in Baton Rouge.
But if he ever does because of LSU and he wants to come she wants to come check out a game, Modesto right here across from the LSU Baseball Stadium in the Walk-Ons parking lot.
There's a reason that we crushed these chips
I can't stop
on air.
eating them. It's a problem.
Yeah.
So it's the salsa combo too that's to me is what makes a great Mexican restaurant too.
Valley Vision gets me again. Vodka, now chips and salsa. Shit. Stuff is flying. It's about time to wrap up before we lose equipment and food.
Anybody else got some more questions in here? We've had a good chat today. Seriously, thank you. And Lauren, thank you.
That's
there was
something.
There was another.
You guys.
Karina has been great too. Yeah. Karina said she's the. Are you the daughter of a head football coach in Texas? That's pretty cool.
I do want to circle back. The vodka that Ender is talking about is this beautiful bottle right in front of me. St. Rock Vodka. We are sponsored by them. We are very grateful for them. They are the official vodka of Bayou Traditions, the NIL collective for LSU athletes. And the cool thing is some of the proceeds of those bottles go back to the collective and support the athletes. It's really good vodka. I guess Ender.
Keep it going. Yeah, keep it going. I got to get another chip in.
See, he's going to make me keep talking so he can chew. Don't chew into the mic. People can hear that.
I know.
You have to put it down.
I'll try to go with it.
But yeah, great vodka. Even if you're not a vodka drinker, it's pretty decor. And you can support the guys, the girls, all of them. Lila is under
Lila's
the tripod. No, if nobody else has questions for us about the series or about the team, we got to wrap it because Lila's about to take down the whole set. Birthday girl is ready to go. Back home this weekend.
Back home this weekend against Auburn. Hopefully we get a sweep.
And it would be awesome to have a huge turnout for this series now that they've got the series win over Mizzou, knowing how possible it is for LSU to sweep Auburn and to get that momentum going, to have a packed box all weekend and turn around and go to A&M and maybe do some storybook shit where, you know, they do pull it off and they win this, maybe not a sweep, but they win the series over A&M. That would be sick.
Yep.
And it's not out of the question.
How do you think?
Jake Brown gets in the lineup.
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest. Ever since I've been calling for him to get in the lineup, he has struggled. He's almost batting like low 200s now, I think. So I don't know. But I think there's been a lot of. He found a good chip. That's the key. That is the key. I think there's been stuff that's been going on in the clubhouse. I don't know, but he hasn't looked as good as I had hoped and that I thought he was in the beginning of the year. So I don't know. I'm with Ashton Larson too. I'm good. Jake Brown can chill for a little while. What?
Ashley.
What?
She said Aunt Patricia is on too, but she can't work her chat still. She called in the middle asking how. Oh.
Aunt Patricia, we got to work on this. That's unbelievable. We got to get you in the chat. Aunt Patricia would be lighting it up. Aunt Patricia.
Wait, why can't she get in the chat?
She can't figure it out.
My mom can't either.
She doesn't have the app. Aunt Patricia, if you don't have the app, maybe that's why. But something tells me Aunt Patricia's watching it on the computer, maybe. Aunt Patricia's a legend from New Jersey.
We appreciate y'all being here.
Wait.
Even if you can't chat.
There was something else I was gonna say.
I'm not wrapping it. I was telling your family thank you.
I forgot I was gonna say something, but now I forgot.
Pack the box, everyone. No, seriously.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. And we've had a lot of consistent people in the chat here. If you guys are in Baton Rouge, what?
You holding Lila.
If you guys can't see, I'm holding Lila.
You couldn't see it on the screen.
And she's
he
just
definitely
trying to
has
go.
the leash.
Yeah, she's trying to go over there, and I'm just. Yeah.
I wish you could see her.
But we would love to buy you guys a drink if you guys want to come to Modesto here. We'll be here Sunday. I'm going to let it go, okay? You ready, Trini? There you go. Sorry. We're going to be here Sunday, right, after the Auburn series. Hopefully it'll be a sweep. Hopefully there'll be some good vibes. Maybe you guys can try some of the –
Sunday. Huh? We'll be at a charity event doing a live show.
That's what I was asking. Okay, so that's this Sunday coming up? Okay.
Yeah. So we're working on a schedule. We may have a Friday night show here.
Ooh.
Which would be really cool for y'all to come get margs and preview the weekend or talk about the Friday night game. But we'll keep y'all updated on the Instagram and on Valley Vision tomorrow night about the schedule. Regardless, though, we'd love to have y'all around and hang out.
Yeah.
What are you reading?
I'm
gonna get him a hat.
That's what it is.
Chat King.
That's what it is. That's what it is. She doesn't have an account. She's probably just on YouTube. just watching. Yeah.
Okay.
And Patricia, we got to get you an account. You see how everybody has a name, and you know that's Ashley typing right now. We got to get you one. I'll set you up.
Oh.
Look at Rocky laughing.
Your whole family. I love that.
And Patricia is the best. Yeah. She came down here, my freshman year.
To watch you play?
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of my family had come down.
I was gonna say, I feel like they've all gotten a taste of Baton Rouge.
Right.
You
want to hear
haven't
something
left,
You want to hear something hilarious? Rocky came down. Rocky, if you're here, you'll appreciate this. Obviously.
Rocky's here. He
I
just
know.
commented.
But so my sophomore year, we were in the new box, right? And so Jordan was probably 3 years old, 4 years old.
Oh my gosh.
She's 16 now. So what's the math on that? I mean, it was 2009. So 13. Yeah, 14 years ago, 15. Yeah, she was 2 or 3. She was young. She decides to put her head. Wow, Lila is jumping up trying to bite. Lila, get down, girl. Anyway, the tiger statue outside Alex's box?
Yeah.
She decides to put her head in between the tiger's
mouth?
And gets stuck. She got stuck where she was crying, and it was like 3 people trying to finagle her out and pull her out. Yeah, it was.
Her head was dead.
Yeah, she probably has some serious PTSD with tigers. Yeah.
She got in.
Oh!
Let's go.
Patricia Diacutis, look at that. Look at her.
She's in. She has her own account.
And Patricia, I'm so proud of you.
Yep, you're in. We see you.
I am RNI.
So
you are the best, Aunt Patricia. Thank you.
Actually, rolling back, I think
what?
Lauren pointed out that A&M.
Oh, it was next weekend?
Is here?
Is it here? I don't know.
Wait a minute. I'm checking now.
She said it here. Yeah.
It's
Okay, she
box,
said it right here.
so
Yeah. Okay, so we don't have to go to College Station.
Weekends
That's
at
nice.
the box.
Ooh, okay, that makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah,
wow.
If you come off a sweep over Auburn, which is absolutely doable.
Let's create the storyline right now on Beyond the Box and Valley Vision. Yeah. The Tigers have won 5 out of 6 going into the weekend where the #1 team comes into Alex Box Stadium, and LSU takes 2 out of 3 against them. Boom. I said it here first. She was 2. Rocky said it. Yeah. She was 2. She was
baby.
2. She was a little baby.
Wait, how did she reach the mouth?
Yeah, Rocky, how did she get her head in there? Did you put it? Rocky, you put her head in there, didn't you? Rocky probably.
She said, "Oh."
What? Please say hello to me. Please say hello to me, so I know you. I hear you about Jordan. Yes, hello, Aunt Patricia. Yes, hello. How else can I say? I've said your name 15 times. I love you. I am. Look, yes, you guys said yeah. I think Aunt Patricia was actually the one that put her head into it.
Dude.
Her and Aunt Soupy. How about Aunt Soupy?
I don't know what's going on today. It's been all over the place.
It's been a great day.
We're storytelling for sure.
The Renaudos are holding down the chat right now.
They are.
We're killing it. Yeah. The pictures are hilarious. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. Rocky's the best dad ever. He's just so positive and optimistic. Instead of panicking, yeah, most parents would be like, "Oh my God, her head's stuck." He was like, "Oh my God, this is hilarious. Reno, get the camera real quick." And he's taking pictures. He's in it like this. Yeah, it was unbelievable. I think so. Rock, didn't you get a picture in it, smiling with her and everything too? I really do.
But if I'm Jordan, at the time, obviously she doesn't know what's going on at the time, but years later, I would want those pictures. That's iconic.
I'm sure I'm sure we laugh about it now, obviously.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right.
Maybe we can find some pictures and throw them up on social. I'll tag you.
We'll have to put it on Instagram.
Yeah.
Poor Jordan.
I know. We'll tag
Vision's
Jordan.
Just gonna tag her. She's gonna be like, "What the hell?"
Oh, I gotta turn my Snapchat notifications on, Rock. That's
not the Snapchat.
I messaged them this morning. And I just remembered now that I didn't go check them after I messaged them. I only use it for Jordan because Jordan, she won't text me.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah. There's a lot going on behind the
Eric Hart, what? What's up, dude? What happened? You poked yourself in the eye with a
cactus?
Oh my God.
Okay, it's the past hour.
This is a shit show.
It's
been a great show. Yeah.
Wait, what?
I had to pay Ashley $500 to help me. Why didn't you pay us? I would have helped you.
She's joking, right?
Yeah, she's definitely joking. If Ashley took $500, there's a problem. Ashley, I will send you your Dylan Cruz ball. I forgot to bring it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that she won on the show. Yeah, from the first episode. Yeah.
You need to get on that.
I know. That's my fault.
You should have brought it.
Yep.
All right. Waiting on last questions. Y'all got 30 seconds before we wrap it up. We'll be back at Don Juan Cigar Bar on Tuesday after the Nichols midweek game.
Yep.
And then again, some schedule changes. We're going to be doing a live show at a charity event that we'll have some more information on next Sunday, but we may be here on Friday night, which will be a cool show.
Yeah, I actually really want to do that, so
I know,
I hope it
want to
works
do a
out.
Friday night
That would
show
be cool.
Too. We're working on it. We're working on it.
right.
Doesn't look like we have any more questions.
Yeah, no, I think we're good. Thank you guys for being here. The chat was awesome today. Renaudo's, I love you, all of you guys. Thank you guys for the support.
Your
We
family
appreciate
is
it.
Amazing.
Yes,
Love
they
them.
are. Thanks for saying it. Can you say it again? What?
It's
Say it
for-
again. Say it for
Your
them.
family is freaking awesome.
See? Let's go. Thank you guys. Cliff, real quick.
What's
y'all?
up, y'all? Try and catch up with y'all at Don Juan. We'll be there
Let's
on
go,
Tuesday,
Cliff.
dude.
Yeah, come on, Cliff.
You know we hang out.
That's our guy.
All right, I'm about to get taken out by this tent.
That's Cliff who was the guest.
I know.
Yeah,
Cliff was
that's our
on the
guy.
show.
Yeah.
That's what I said. He's going to come hang out on Tuesday. Cha-ching. Ashley's. we just need a group message with your family. That's awesome.
Ashley, I got you that $500. Make sure you give me my finder's fee.
Bruh.
Or is
All
she
right.
saying cha-ching because of the Dylan Cruz ball?
I don't know.
Whatever.
Both. It plays for both.
Yeah,
All right.
whatever.
We appreciate y'all being in the chat. We appreciate y'all for hanging out, listening to us, and watching us almost get taken down by a tent.
Yep.
We'll be back indoors with no tent on Tuesday, so
Just
hopefully
cigars.
no more shit show circus vibes.
Cigar bar.
Except that's kind of fun.
smells.
Yeah, cigar bar smells. We appreciate y'all. We will see y'all soon.